Hi there, I'm the Angry Murloc, and this is a channel all about games. In this series, it's all about how they've ruined my life.
Arcade games.
My first encounter with games was at Southend-on-Sea.
You know, that place that is famous for its seagulls with gastronomically expensive taste for nicking the overpriced fish and chips you just bought. It also attracts other wildlife vermin like members of the public who flock to the shores in the summer just to swim in the shit-ridden Thames estuary.
Yeah, that's right, love. Just wipe all that creamy, shitty goodness all over your arms. Maybe on your face as well. Lap it up, you fat bitch. Anyway, I used to go to the amusements at Southend, and especially the 2p machines, originally created to keep as many coppers in circulation as possible. Probably.
These games are characterised by multiple levels filled with coins. Behind the platforms are mechanical brooms that push the coins forward. When a coin is dropped in, it falls onto one of the platforms and has the chance of pushing some other coins off the edge and to the player.
Notice I say the word chance very loosely here, and these games have got such a low return rate, it's not surprised that you'll change up another £5 of 2p's just to try and beat the game, because in your original attempt you only got about 10p's worth. Once your money has been eventually pilfered by the ghastly machine, it leers at you in its stupid little way by pushing all the coins onto the front, precariously balancing on top of each other.
So in order for you to beat the machine and receive that intrinsic reward you so rightly deserve, you casually try to bump the machine in the hope they fall down, and if that doesn't work, a running jump should do, but that also sets the alarm off.
If we were to collect all the coins balancing on the edge of every machine in the UK, we could potentially solve the Eurozone debt crisis. I also spent other parts of my youth at the Trocadero in London, but unfortunately as I went there today to do some filming for this, it was apparently shut down, so here's some stock footage I found on YouTube of the opening back in 1996.
The Trocadero, or Sega World as it's most rightly known as, is much more different than its Southend counterpart, and that is because it doesn't actually dispense cash as rewards. Instead it gives out these little tickets which, if you accumulate enough, you can then exchange at the kiosk for trinkets or keyrings or bath soap or something like that.
Again, these games have a certain psychology behind them and how they affect us emotionally as human beings. So we could spend about £5 and only get about 400 tickets, and it's only when you get to about 600 tickets that you can actually win a keyring, and when you get into the 500,000 that you can win a toaster or something stupid like that, which you don't actually want to take home with you, but it actually draws you in to pay more money just so you can get something out of it. Unfortunately for me, I was born in the late 80s, which meant my generation was too old to be able to enjoy something like Space Invaders or Missile Command. But instead we had something called Time Crisis. Now when I was on one of these package holidays when I was about 7 years old, every day I used to stand there just watching people play Time Crisis. By the end of the week I used to be telling grown men how to play the game and when a certain enemy will pop up, which they didn't much appreciate taking advice from a 7-year-old. Another rail shooter I used to play was House of the Dead, and on my 12th birthday my dad took us to Romford Ice Rink with a few friends. Even though I spent about 20 minutes on the ice rink, I actually played another 3 hours on the game, and after my dad had wasted about £40 for me and my friends to play it, we then spent the next 2 hours going around Romford to Chelmsford finding an actual shop that sold the game, and eventually we found it in an old electronics boutique up in a Debenham somewhere. Arcade games seem to be a thing of the past in this generation, and now we focus more on casual games. Just look at Farmville or anything else that Zynga manages to push out each week in order to gain money from us. But why do they gain money from us? And that's one thing: microtransactions. And this is 2 examples of how 2 different microtransactional games work.
Here we have Treasure Isle from Zynga. For those of you who are unfamiliar with it, it is a casual game and a glorified Minesweeper clone. The object of the game is to dig around for, yes, you've guessed it, treasure. As you dig, your energy depletes, and when you cannot dig anymore, you have to either wait an hour or 2 for your energy bar to refill, or if you're what Zynga hopes you are, and that's an impatient tit, then you will most probably buy refill packs. But these can only be bought with their premium currency, and how do you get that? You give them real money. Yes, there are ways to get Zynga cash in game, but that's a laboratory's grind, and we want them now! Other things you can buy are vanity items, and they cost an absolute fortune. This monkey mask will put you back $170, that's £111, and to be honest, my faith in mankind today is diminished after thinking a lot of twats have bought that instead of feeding their children for a week. I'd rather you all get off Facebook as soon as you can and visit the outside world, or at least have a wash for once.
Here's another game that tries to steal money out of us, but instead of just being a Facebook game, it's also available on the iPad and the iPhone, so it can take our money whenever it wants, whenever we're on the go.
Slotomania is like a wicked witch that has lured you into its gingerbread house full of goodies, and before you know it, she's bending you over the oven and fucking you with a strap on. Basically, you have a numerous line combinations, and you bet on each line, and depending on how much you bet and what lines up, you win X amount of money. But surely betting lots of money gets you more coins, right? Wrong. Instead of fruit machines where you win a set amount, these work in the form of multipliers and only give return when the machine wants to. You can bid 10 times with 30 coins and win once in a set of 10. And so you've spent 300 coins and just win about 56, that's the average what I got playing. So I keep losing money, but when I've won a pitiful amount I still get excited because I've won something. But if I keep winning each spin, then it gets monotonous and I won't feel like I've actually achieved anything. And this is the power of rewards, people, and you wonder why in WoW not all boars dry up livers? It's the basic concept of compulsion, or so some may call it, addiction. You lose money in this game, a lot, and their prices are so high for so little gold. But what keeps you playing, I hear you all say? It's the experience points and levelling up. You don't want to play the same themed slots all the time, so you level up, and you can gain access to lots more slots to rip you off. Lots more slots. Anyway, now you can get a grasp on how games have actually got an emotional hold on us.
Sadly, that's all the time I have for you today. If you could please... Oh, hi Squidward. If you could please leave some comments or some feedback, it would be greatly appreciated in order to further these channels and these videos. Other ideas of videos could be that I might do...
I hate this channel. No!